I already did a video about Ubuntu a few months ago, but at the time several issues made it a poor choice for most people. It was only a server version, you had to install everything from the command line, and there were tons of bugs. A few versions later, now it's time to update and see how it goes. I tested the next version, Ubuntu 22.04, and it's really better. Should you consider using it instead of Raspberry Pi OS? That's what we'll see in this video. Installing Ubuntu now couldn't be easier with recent models. If you are using Raspberry Pi Imager, most versions are available directly in it. So, you can pick the one you want depending on your Raspberry Pi model and goals. The desktop version is supported only on Raspberry Pi 4 or 400. If you have an older model, you still need to start with the server version. Watch my previous video to know how to install a desktop environment on it. You can also choose between 32 and 64 bits if your model is supported. For this video, I tested a beta version of Ubuntu 22.04 on Raspberry Pi 4, installed on a USB key. Unfortunately, no improvement for the first boot with this version. The wizard is great, it will guide you to configure the basic settings and create the first user. But I still don't understand why a 15-minute installation is needed after that. In a recent video, I showed you that Pi OS, based on Ubuntu, removed that, so I hope they will do it too in the future. Anyway, after this 15-minute forced break, you'll get access to the desktop, and can start to use your new system. The Ubuntu interface is great, there is no doubt about that. No major changes in the new versions, but it's still way better than Raspberry Pi OS, and could be a good reason to switch to it. It's based on the latest GNOME version, so it's modern, intuitive and pleasant to use. Wi-Fi is now working well, you can use several workspaces and the app launcher is fine. Like with any distribution using GNOME or KDE, I love the System Configuration app. You'll easily get access to all the settings in one place, with an intuitive interface and a search engine to quickly find what you are looking for. I think it's easier for beginners than Raspberry Pi OS. As you know, everything is here, it's not a different tool for each option. One thing missing on Raspberry Pi OS is an app store like this one. Installing new apps can be complicated. If you don't know the package name, there is almost no way to find an app for a specific task. On Ubuntu, this tool will guide you. Categories, a search engine, and only the main packages are listed, not all the dependencies like on Raspberry Pi OS. It's a bit slow on Raspberry Pi, but it's still better than nothing, so let's say it's a good point for Ubuntu in this comparison. For me, like most people that already tried Ubuntu on Raspberry Pi, the main concern is the overall performances compared to Raspberry Pi OS. Raspberry Pi OS has been optimized for all Raspberry Pi models, while overall, Ubuntu keeps the same base as on PC, GNOME, Firefox, etc. As always, I did several tests to compare the performances on both distributions. The time to boot, time to open an app, the browser speed and even the overall impression on YouTube. You can find the exact number in the linked article, but if I have to summarize them in one sentence, I may say something like, keep your Raspberry Pi powered on and don't use Firefox. Once Ubuntu is fully loaded, the overall experience is similar to Raspberry Pi OS, or even better with some apps like LibreOffice that load faster on Ubuntu. But Ubuntu takes almost twice as long as Raspberry Pi OS to boot. Firefox and Chromium get similar results once loaded, but Firefox is way slower to start. I also tested some YouTube videos, and didn't notice any major difference between both browsers and distributions. Overall, Ubuntu on Raspberry Pi is a decent choice for desktop usage. Thanks to the 64-bit architecture and several optimizations that have been done, it's improving with each new version. I think it's becoming a solid choice if you have a Raspberry Pi 4 or 400. Just keep in mind that Raspberry Pi OS will always be more compatible, more optimized and generally with a better support and community than other distributions for Raspberry Pi users. If you are not convinced that Ubuntu is worth giving it a try for now, I highly recommend testing Pop OS. Overall, I got a better impression with Pop OS than Ubuntu. It's based on Ubuntu with various changes improving the user experience. Watch this video to learn more about it.